Already, and we are into the second game of this best of 3 series. Remember, the upper brackets is a best of 3, and then the lower brackets will be playing in a best of 1. Dracarys has chosen to remain on the blue side, and they're going to be banning the mid-sedan. No surprises right there. We saw how important or what a game changer he was in game 1.
Definitely. Having the Minotaur, they could come with a surprise pick here, maybe a Franco. Because with how the hooks are coming in, they are sometimes they're caught out of position. So with that, maybe they could go for a surprise Franco pick here.
Right, absolutely. I think Franco pick is kind of like a pocket one, like something that you wouldn't expect out of the bag, and something that is impossible to counter. I would say there's no hard counter to Franco, just because good positioning is the counter.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
There's no hero that specifically counters Franco because he's such an off-meta hero with his Iron Hook, with his ultimate as well, with his lockdown. But he doesn't have much team contribution towards the later stage of the game. He's good if you kind of snowball it, but towards the later stage of the game, he kind of lacks damage. His CC isn't too long as well.
You give up teamfight CCs, you give up a tank that is not really played as a tank as well, because you want to.
And he can't really stand in front as well, because you can position him really aggressively, but he doesn't have damage skills other than the Iron Hook. So, like you said, you're kind of giving up team damage and utility for a very off-meta hero that's may work out. It's an absolute gamble. Like Franco, in my opinion, is just an absolute gamble of a pick. But coming into game number 2, we're going to be seeing Qifei banning out the Harith as well. Smart banning.
Yeah, same bans. We see Qifei, we see Kaja, and then Harith as well. First pick here, what do we have? Perhaps another Lunox pickup. Lunox last game. What do we see from the Lunox coming in last game?
Right, I think the Lunox is a good pick down the mid lane, but she kind of needs another hero other than Johnson. Like, Johnson is pretty good, but if they had picked up the Grok for themselves, I think that would have been decent. It was banned out though, so we'll have to remind the viewers that Grok was banned out. But now they do pick up the Grok. The issue is they might not get the Lunox because Qifei has 2 picks in a row right now.
Yes.
Right. So, I'm not too sure how Qifei wants to run this, whether they want to pick up the Lunox for themselves, because they don't have the mid-setup now. It was kind of banned out.
Yeah, I think you definitely need to contest the majors now, since you banned out Harith, and then now you have 2 picks. You got to go for your mid momentum here straight away.
There's still Esmeralda as well. In the draft.
Right.
We kind of spoke about Esmeralda. Obviously, you have the Guinevere as well that doesn't get picked up. But this time, Qifei, they pick up both the Minotaur and the Johnson as well. Could this be a counter, or rather a on purpose? They're just trying to take away the counter pick.
This definitely comes as a surprise for me, because having your opponent first pick a tank straight away, and then you respond with 2 tanks instead of contesting the majors. You straight away tell your opponent you want to go head up here. I'm gonna show you my tanks. We don't know how the core players are gonna play out, so definitely coming down into the draft, your 4th and 5th picks are gonna be very, very important here.
And we see a similar pick in Thanos as well, because or rather Tamus, because Tamus kind of runs like a Leomon in the top lane. He's very focused on pushing the top. He has decent amount of burst and regeneration and sustain as well. The only issue is that we saw that in game 1, the problem that Dracarys had with the draft was trying to get the Leomon to the late game stage. Similarly with the Claude, they were doing well in the respective lanes, but it was just so hard for them to get into the late game just because of the rotation. Remember, they managed to pick up the first turtle, but they lost all the team fights then after. So I think it's going to be a similar game, and that Qifei wants to have the early game aggression and not allowing Dracarys to draft in the Tamus, or rather in the Claude as well, to reach the late game.
Right, but here with having Grok instead, we could actually see Dracarys here actually having a higher amount of damage coming in from the early game, and because of that they could snowball it off Turtle. I think the play is for them to snowball off their early game lead here.
Right, it's going to be a lot easier to snowball with the Grok as well. And smart drafting coming out from Dracarys. They managed to ban out both the Minsita and the Granger, both really influential heroes in game 1. And I think Qifei right now, they're going to be starting to question themselves, which MM do we go for? They ban out the Lunox, which is no surprise there, because Dracarys is down to the 2nd phase of the picks already, and they're going to have the last pick as well. So they can pick up the Digi for themselves, they can choose not to. But on the side of Dracarys, I would highly recommend a Digi, just because of the Johnson and the Minotaur.
Yeah, heavy, big CC controls, definitely. And then now you have Leomon coming in, you definitely need something to reset the fights. So here we're gonna see another Archive picked up. So
I think Archive is kind of like a comfort pick for Dracarys.
Yeah, definitely.
but we need him to hit the level 4 first. We saw the first kind of deciding factor within the first team fight was that Minotaur managed to reach level 4 first. So with the Minions Fury, they kind of have the upper hand in the first team fight of the game. Arkai didn't really have the Hurricane's dance as well, and it was kind of hard for the side of the Dracarys to handle the CCs coming out from Qifei. But this is the draft for both sides, and they pick up the carry as well for Qifei. Any thoughts on the carry?
Interesting here because we see actually 4 heroes on the side of Qifei. They have 4 heroes that actually commit, and then because of this, having the carry most likely is gonna go in together with the Johnson as well. And how their team fight is gonna work is that the Chang'e is gonna stay behind, huge range, and then we're gonna have carry Johnson probably going in with the carry, and then with a Minotaur and Leomord follow up. So I actually like Qifei's draft here very much. I feel that the way they're gonna go into team fight is going to be heavy. There's going to be heavy influence on how the Arkai repositions himself.
Right, but right now we're going into the second game between the Dracarys and Qifei. Obviously, we saw Qifei walking away with game number 1. Where we see them dominate game 2, I'm not too sure, but we'll find out pretty soon. We're gonna have the Johnson down the mid lane, and surprisingly, it looks like Carry could be going onto the middle side. Looks like could be having a small connection issue, but we'll let them figure that out. Tamu's going to go on the top lane as well. That's what we really like to see coming from Tamu's to farm. Looks like Qifei really like to have the MMs down in the middle side.
Carry's going down mid lane again. I believe it's just going to try to snowball the carry off again. And then from there, Turtle actually is on the bottom lane here. So we're going to see early rotation down from the Minotaur. I believe early on. Down when the 2 minute marks hits, we're going to see contest at the Turtle for sure.
Absolutely. You're going to see the Chang'e all by her own on the bottom side, which is not a surprise because you want to have the Johnson alongside the carry to kind of soak up the damage from the buff as well.
Yeah, we see teams actually playing quite safe here. There is no invasion of the opponent jungle. I see most teams stay on their side of the jungle early, and then I believe that their first play is always for the Turtle, I believe. So here we're just going to see both teams going for the gold buff here. We see a small skirmish down at the top lane.
Right, down to the top side, we're going to see the first gang of the game. Kagura enters the fight as well, but not enough damage on Tamu's side. I think it's more of just to ward them away from the turtle. Right, they kind of just want to zone them away, just get the gold buff, try to get the early game going. And it looks like Ultima picked up the gold buff for herself. That's going to allow her to get to level 4 really quickly alongside the items as well.
Yeah, we see her about to hit level 4 in just a little bit here after one of these creeps here. And then we see a rotation down towards the bottom lane from Team Red here. I believe they are going to start prioritizing the turtle here because as we seen last game, they actually Team Blue actually sneaked off the turtle from them straight. So I believe that they're going to put heavier emphasis on the turtle rotations this time around.
But right now, top lane seeing a lot of regression coming in from Dracarys. We're going to see the Kagura come back to mid lane as well to kind of push out the waves before what I assume would be a turtle take from either side. It looks like Dracarys once again just going to be a 4-man onto the turtle.
4-man rotation down the turtle.
Right. And this time around, will we see Qifei counter fight? Because we saw in the last game, they managed to pick up the turtle, the Dracarys managed to pick up the turtle, but Qifei found a really good team fight. They managed to get 4 heroes off as well.
It's now or never. Oh no, they actually choose to rotate down to the top lane instead. So free turtle again for Team Dracarys here.
And top side, Tamu's doing pretty decently by himself, but
you see it.
It looks like Minotaur's going to be level 4 as well. To get the Minotaur's very easy kill right there. Sleeping Summon as well. And Rapid Touchdown. Going to secure the deal right there. First Blood once again going the way of Qifei. But they do lose
creeps.
the turtle.
Yeah, no creeps though. So if they actually had creeps there together, if they timed it together with the creeps there, they could actually take down the tier 1 top as well. But here we actually just see them rotating back to their lanes for now.
Right, with the same umbrella going right in, Grog under fire, and Carry could be able to find the second blood as well. But we still have the Kagura in the midst. But this could not be enough damage. Brings down the Leomord, but going to sacrifice her life for it as well. So 2-1 in that engagement, still going the way of Qifei, and obviously they have to go
You still push top lane, you still push bottom lane, so I think that's a big win for Team Qifei here.
I think the draft coming out from Qifei is just really flexible because they have the carry that can farm in the middle bottom side. I can kind of see why they choose to put her in the middle lane. I still personally do prefer if Chang'e is in the middle side just because her level 4 is just so monumental. But she's kind of holding up the bottom lane all by herself throughout the entire game. We haven't seen the Johnson come down to bot lane as well. We haven't seen the gang coming in from whatsoever. And rapid touchdown being put up by Hakai as well. Led straight onto the Arkai. And tough luck there coming up for Opa. Gets brought down instantly. Oh, just a good engagement coming up for Qifei time and time again.
Yeah, but this game you actually need heavy emphasis on the Claude not dying early, because he really needs to be getting his items up. You see him going for the same Claude pick again and again. I believe this is a comfort pick for him, and there's heavy emphasis on him getting out the Demon Sword. I think you want it by 6 minutes so that you can snowball it into the Golden Staff, hopefully by about before 9 minutes, and from there you can actually take a proper team fight. You know, wait for the carry to commit in with the Johnson, wait for the proper timing for you to actually get into the fight.
Right, looks like Grok with the wall wants to push down the tower, but quick rotation coming in from the top side. Just gonna make sure that Qifei keeps their first tower in the middle lane up and healthy. And looks like the second turtle of the game is up. And looks like the next team fight will kind of decide which team gets that turtle.
Yeah, we see Tamus actually at the top lane getting pushing down the tower to make sure that the team weight actually goes up and stop him while they are converging down to turtle.
But they kind of put the Arkai right over there. They put the Leomord down with the Hurricane Dance. But a rapid touchdown comes in for Hakai. They're focusing onto the Kagura right now. Tries to run away, but focus being shifted onto the Claude. No way out right here. And it's Opa left in that. And he tries to run out of there. But Chang'e with the Starling Moonstruck will be able to get the second or the third kill. And with that 4 kills in the back for Qifei, and not only that, they managed to defend the top side. I was kind of questioning whether or not sending the Minotaur onto the top lane is the wise decision, because they want the Minions Fury in the team fight, right?
Yep.
But obviously that paid off. They had so much damage coming out, and they managed to win that team fight as well.
Just time and time again we see superior positioning from their mage, from their carry, from the carry player as well, the marksman. And because of this, just you always have damage coming out. You know your tanks are in the right position to soak up the damage. Claude even throwing both his ultimate and his second skill as well, and then because of that he couldn't actually get away.
And John's gonna be landing that skill right onto the Grok. Grok already using his ultimate, and no ultimate for the next few 30 seconds, I would say. On top of it, we see the Chang'e picking up the Lightning Trenchant as well, so there's a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah, that's early.
And that's a really quick as well. But talking about it, top side, once again, we see the Tamus trying to push up in top lane. And Minotaur doing a good job at making sure that he doesn't get that first tower. And this is just going to slow down Dracarys' progress, right? Because the Tamus is not able to farm in the top side, but his team is just losing all this team fight. So it kind of, you know, go against the logic of putting a Tamus in the top lane when he's not pushing, he's not farming, I would say, at a really quick pace as well. He's doing decent, but just decent is not enough for Dracarys.
Yeah, I think at this point, actually, Team Qifei is already, they already knows what's going on. You always have a Tamus. They are always playing a kind of like 4 protect 1. One guy is always at the top lane trying to split push. As long as you have one hero guarding him, you protect your tier 1, there's always not going to be enough space for him to move around. And then you have the other team of 4, Johnson ready to pick up any form of misrotation from Team Blue here.
Right, and Arkai just in the brushes right here, but jumps right in. Doesn't manage to steal the go buff and takes quite a bit of damage as well. I'm not too sure whether or not they can hold this first tower, especially with the mini Fairy coming in. Rapid touchdown as well to follow up, and Hurricane Dance, where is it? It doesn't matter because Grok will go down, and looks like Tamus is the next target. And Claude is all the way down in the bot lane by himself. Without the Claude, they lack so much damage in the team fight.
Yeah, so we actually see here Johnson doing the perfect follow-up straight away into a 2-man stun, and because of that, Team Blue here cannot rotate out in time, and because of that, just 4 deaths. And from here, you probably go for another turtle. You take down the tier 2s, and Claude. What do you actually? What was the trade-off there? Claude getting a little bit from bottom lane, didn't even get the tier 1 bottom as well, and because of that, you're just falling way behind. You know, almost 10k up net worth right now.
And right now looks like another Minotaur's Fairy will get pulled out and lands onto Claude as well. Claude falling. Kagura, the next one, tries to get the Umbrella out of the way, but Arkai goes in, but there is no follow-up, or rather no support available for him. He might be able to pick up the Johnson, but they lose 3 members in that team fight.
Yeah, we see Arkai actually every single team fight is coming in just slightly a little bit late. You know, you wonder if he came in about 3 to 4 seconds earlier while his team was getting engaged, would that have actually changed the fight for them?
I'm sure that would have, you know, they would have lost. And not only that, that's a really good trade for Qifei because they lose 2 tanks. In return, they get 2 cores on the side of Dracarys. They managed to pick up the Grok as well. And if you look at the itemization right now, Claude is just so far behind the carry. And it's kind of like a 3k difference. Like you can see the carry already picking up the lightning belt on the side of Claude. He only has the Demon Hunter sword, kind of like a deja vu coming in from first game.
Yep, definitely. So we're gonna see play starting to I believe that Team Qifei here will start to converge on the lot. I believe they want to go for one pick off. One pick off here is straight away enough for them to end the game from here.
Right, but they're gonna have 3 members onto the Lord right now. Chang'e gonna be looking onto the outpost. They kind of spot the archive in their brush as well, so they know that they're safe and sound.
Does Dracarys know that they are taking the Lord?
I'm not too sure. 4 members of the side of Qifei missing off the map. They must have suspected something, but the steed is enough. Look at Ultima dropping really low, and they're going to focus onto the Kagura, but in the meanwhile, they're going to be taking down the Claude. Where is the Claude? He's right in the midst right there. Johnson going to be securing the kill. Fight broken up into 2 pieces, and Opasen running for his HP. Ultima will be the second one to go down, and looks like Nicholas is running for his life as well. Rapid touchdown, lands straight onto the Tamus, and this could be GG.
Yep, very clean fight coming with them. 4-0 here, and then we have the Lord actually walking down the mid lane here. I believe the game should end from here.
And looks like Qifei one final push with the Lord, and 5 more seconds before the Claude comes out. Grok already up, and the War in a little bit of a bad position, but the Hurricane Dance comes in. They're just trying and desperately trying to buy enough time before the Claude comes out. Minoru's Fury lands onto the Claude as well. Steed getting summoned right there, and they turn their attention down to the Grok. They will bring him down pretty quickly, and Chang'e still focusing on the bomb lane. It looks like Blazing Duet will put in 3 members of Qifei really low, but the Lord gets brought down, and they could be lacking damage. Second wave of creeps pushing in, and the carriers could have just bought themselves one more push.
Yeah, so we see time and time again having the carry. Now we know why Team Qifei here wants their MM player on the mid lane. Simply the damage that she does, the damage that she puts out in the team fight is way too much.
The Turtle manages to pick up the Minotaur. That could be big. But Opa dropping low as well. The crew is starting to push right in, and they want to end the game right here, right now. And the Tyrant will be able to get the job done. 2 games in a row for Qifei as they proceed in the upper brackets.
Wow, that is just very good teamfight positioning. We see Team Qifei time and time again, they have superior teamfight positioning. We see them always ready for the archive afterwards. Straight away after they clear the first 2 heroes, we always see Grok and Claude dying first. And then from there, we see the archive always coming for the spin, and they are always ready. They kind of know what to expect during the team fights. And because of that, straight away we see carry straight away snowballing off. The moment I see the carry getting 1 or 2 kills from there, straight away I know that she's going to snowball. They're going to get their objectives, get the tier 1s, get the tier 2s. You know, straight away they go for 1 pick off, and from there, snowball, and I would say easy game for them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what sums up both games. Snowball. And it's pretty much the truth right now, because in Mobile Legends, like, the moment you have that 7-minute lead, it's just so hard for the other side to come back. But with that being said, Qifei, congratulations to them. They will be going up. But it is not the end for Dracarys as well. They'll be going to the lower brackets. It's going to be a best of
fighting chance.
Right, they have one more chance to come right back into the competition. But it is a best of 1, so they have to be ready for that. But right now, we're going to go into a short break. But when we are back, we'll bring you the second game of the day. It's going to be 3/2 up against T-Force. And both companies coming in from Ericsson Telecoms Private Limited and Temasek International respectively. So really big companies here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to be a big game as well. But we'll be back before a break. Once again, brought to you by PvP Esports, powered by Singtel. And a big shout out to our sponsors as well. Huawei, I believe it's Great Eastern, and Secret Lab. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break.